Merry Christmas everyone, and as you can see, Christmas is just around the corner, and I just thought I'd just do a quick little clip just to update everyone. And of course, you know, I know some of you are probably waiting for my YouTube channel for the next episode on the evidence. However, I've had to put everything on hold because I've had a lot of things going on in the last couple of months or so. A lot of changes and changes, you know, like life does. But in the last few couple of nearly 3 months now, I've actually been just in complete lockdown, concentrating on my court case. So I'm going to be updating everyone again, okay? So basically, my case is beyond serious. It is definitely a trafficking in persons case, but it's also the kind of set of circumstance that if I have to say that if I didn't know or have the knowledge and the experience that I've been blessed to have historically, everything that I have been through has not been a waste of time. What I mean is that without all the experience and the training I've had in my life, and a lot of it's been personal experiences, both sides of, both sides of two worlds. I'd have to say I've got the best of two worlds as far as knowledge is concerned, which has been a real blessing in so many ways. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if I didn't know the how to defend, because like at the end of the day, everyone wants to self-defend themselves, right? My case is so serious. If I didn't have the experience and the knowledge, like I said, I wouldn't know how to get myself out of it. Literally, it's a slave, like an enslaved, incarcerated set of circumstance. So if you're lived a life that is completely sheltered, like I have, like you can be sheltered just like normal everyday life, you know, and just carry on with life, and then all of a sudden things just change and like you're in a different set of circumstances. What happened here? I guess what I'm trying to say is my situation has been out of my control, but it is definitely a trafficking in persons case. And because I've been able to go through the experience, come out of it, use the laws and you know, and interpret the laws, and like I couldn't really say I know what trafficking in persons is if I hadn't gone through it myself. So what I have to prove to the court that is exactly what my case is. So now, from experience of what I've gone through and come out of, I'm now able to create or to gather all the information and do my own personal investigation into my own case. And I've been able to come out with evidence now that I have got a really solid case against some corporate agencies, okay? Obviously, the opposition has been a higher power. What I mean is, it's not just like your normal kind of a gang sort of a thing. It's been where everyone's been involved. That's what I'm trying to say. So I had, you know, all the good people watching over, and then all the baddies. Like, it's like, where's Wally? You know, somewhere in between is that, you know, that bad apple or that perpetrator whose motive is not for you, of course. So that's what's happened, and that's what my case is like, or what's been happening. Also, I found that obviously something's going on that I haven't been confirmed, as far as no one has actually said to me, this is what is happening. So basically, I've been a victim of where other people have actually controlled my situation, where my liberty's been taken away, and my human rights historically. although it's been out of my control, all I could do was just gather evidence in the moment and make decisions in the moment. Okay, so now that time has passed by, things are the way they are, but at the end of the day, I'm still entitled to justice. I'm still entitled to go forward the best way I can. And so the only way for me to be able to go forward is actually through the courts. But because I'm not a defendant, I've been the victim. So I've had good people watching over me, besides God, of course. You got to give God the glory. And I do. Because everyone's circumstance is different, and you should never judge somebody or compare somebody to yourself or to another person. You should never compare, because it's not our job to judge anyone. It's not our job or anything. You should never judge anyone. What I'm trying to say is that there is two sides of a story, and basically I've decided to put my story out there because, one, I needed intervention. My life has been a really serious duress set of circumstance historically, but looking back now, I know that I made all the right decisions in the moment for survival, and if I hadn't have done all that, I probably wouldn't even be here today. That's the honest truth. But now that I'm actually out of it, it is definitely a human trafficking by force case. And everyone's entitled to justice, and that's the only way you can get it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is self-defense. You need evidence for self-defense. Okay, I have officially lodged my claims, and as you can see, I'm at the High Court. That's what it looks like. That's our High Court. And I've got a hearing date, so I will update all of you. Merry Christmas! You also need to know, to protect yourself, that you don't get involved in something that could backfire, because that is what organised crime is. The innocent civilians, get involved. Sometimes, a lot of people do things out of the goodness of their heart, and it backfires. It's happened to me. And I've seen it happen to other people, where you, out of the goodness of your heart, you go out of your way for the extra mile for people, and then they abuse it and, basically turn on you and abuse you and steal off you, left, right and centre. And then you've got to think, oh, well, how am I going to protect myself? I need to prove that I'm innocent. So that's what's happened to me. The thing is, I'm not a defendant, I am the victim. So now, in the last 3 months almost, I've been in lockdown. I'm almost seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, like putting everything together has been honestly just very, not only sometimes it has been draining mentally, spiritually, also sometimes traumatizing. I can't explain the words or how I feel sometimes. It just gets too much, and I just had to leave things and just go back to it when I get over a certain bad emotion, like just being overwhelmed and anxiety and all the traumatizing emotions that people get, because you're reliving. You're basically, when you're going over your case, you're reliving the incidents, and to you or to me, when I'm reading about something in my diary or putting something together, it's like it was only yesterday. It was like it never, I never came out of that realm or came out of that situation, because I'm trying to get sorted out. I'm trying to put it all together to prove my case is a criminal case. The case itself has been a criminal case historically. Also, I found there's danger in coming out with your truth. I have been consistently up against the opposition all the time. Some days worse than others. It's a cohesion of force, of abuse, of public abuse that is illegal. So even if you just know the signs to know that you're actually in danger, that helps. So that's why I felt I've had to tell my story. It's taken a long time. As you can tell, I'm healing. I'm one of these people. I don't wallow in self-pity. I get down like other people. I get hurt like other people. Like, honest, I feel pain just like everybody else. But I'm one of these people, I get over things. I don't hold on to things. I always try and look at solutions to get myself out of it. But it is definitely a human trafficking by force, whether it's just human trafficking of women, where, they're being like enslaved, and basically, you get different people with different beliefs forcing their beliefs, like different cultures treat women different, and then, different religions have their beliefs of how women should be. Everyone's got these, cultures that they are used to. So what I'm saying is that I have found people have tried to force their beliefs, and therefore, their what they want or what should be, they think it should be, but the way they're doing it is what is wrong. Being concealed and then being forced upon, it's really hard to explain. But the cohesion is real. It is abusive. It is intimate, and it is very dangerous, and it is very life-threatening. But just knowing the signs and knowing that things that aren't always your fault, and even if things are out of your control, helps you cope. Helps you see things differently, helps you make decisions differently. But basically, it's just like listening to your own inner spirit, like listening to your own conscience, or I have a faith of my own that I'm very thankful for, that I believe what's helped me come out of what I've come out of. So basically, I'm just putting my case together, and hopefully I'll have some results after Christmas. And it's a very serious case. It's been a traumatizing experience for me every time I've had to try and use the court system, and then it gets sabotage. But it's very clear that it's cybercrime. That there's more than one person or a couple of persons. It's it is consistent with the harassment that I keep complaining about. And I also know that my privacy's gone, like I'm some kind of a public something. However, I am a human being, and I don't like being hurt just like everybody else, and I have not enjoyed the ride of being abused and people, humiliating, being, ridiculing me. And and then I feel the hostility, and I don't know why people are angry at me, and obviously it's because of the court case. I'm up against powerful people with lots of money, and some people see people like myself as commoners or just a slave. That's not my culture. I wasn't brought up, even the laws and everything I've learned, having a slave is illegal unless that person, that's their culture, and that's, but that's not mine. And, respect goes both ways, and I don't believe in abusing women. But yeah, those are the things that I've gone through personally, and I stand against all that. I stand against bullies. I stand against, anyone trying to abuse or force their belief, and torturing and tormenting anybody. And obviously, my case needs public support. And and I'm sick of dealing with things after the fact. So I'll update you once I go through my experience with court, and I'll know when to update you or update everyone, and we'll see what happens. Okay. But in New Zealand, the country that I come from, the laws haven't changed as far as representing yourself.